iPad only challenge 2 years later. I want to talk about it in this video. Let's do it! Alright, and the number one thing that I want to talk about in this video is general iPadOS.
So let's take a look at iPadOS.
The first iPad that I bought was iPad 6th Gen from 2018, 32 gigs, space gray, only Wi-Fi. Yes, it was the version that I could afford. 32 gigs, 6th Gen iPad from 2018. And I remember when iPadOS 13 was released, and I was, oh man, like, what's going on? iPadOS, awesome, new operating system, a little bit better than iOS. I just need to try it. I'm gonna sell my iMac with macOS, sell my Windows, right, and just go full time, you know, go only iPad. And I did that, right? I bought my iPad. Later, after some months, I sold my iMac, sold my Windows computer, and boom! I said, right? I'm gonna take this challenge. We'll see what will happen. And here I am, right now in 2021, when I still use my iPad only. No macOS, no Windows computer or anything like that. I still use my iPad Air, first generation 2019, because in 2019 I sold my iPad, 6th Gen iPad. I sold that and I bought iPad Air, third generation from 2019 in November. And I have this iPad to this day. It's pretty good computer. I like it. The processor is A12. It's pretty good. It's very fast. It's still powerful. I didn't buy Pro because I thought I just don't need it, and I'm just poor. Yeah, I'm just poor. Maybe not so poor, somewhere in the middle, but I'm not a very rich guy to buy iPad Pro, you know, takes your display 12.9 inches on 20.1. It's not way, right? No way, no way. But yeah, so I mentioned the first thing, iPadOS. When iPadOS 13 came out, I thought, this is it, this is it. Yeah. I was fascinated about filmmaking, videography, photo editing, and graphic designing, so I bought Apple Pencil to this iPad 6th Gen, right? It was just amazing. Boom, you know, I was writing, you know, Apple Pencil, it was an amazing experience when I put off this Apple Pencil from my box and boom, wow, Apple Pencil is magic. And I was drawing, you know, I was editing videos. That was great, but when I wanted to learn professional video editing, like in DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut Pro X, or in Premiere Pro, I just couldn't, because the problem is, iPadOS doesn't have professional apps, like Xcode, or Logic Pro, or Final Cut Pro. But I thought, alright, I just need to get used to it. I was using Videolib and iMovie. Later, I bought this iPad Air 3rd generation from 2019, 64 gigs, yeah, that's the basic model. Wi-Fi, 64 gigs, that's the only version that I could afford. Barely I could afford. Yeah, it costed, I think, $550 or something. I just don't know, I don't remember, but something like that. And I bought also LumaFusion, and I use this to this day. LumaFusion is amazing video editing app. You can do a lot of things, a lot of transitions, you can do color grading, that's awesome. But it's still, LumaFusion still has lack of some features, right? Because Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve is the next level, it's something completely different. iPadOS is unfortunately very limited. right? It's very limited. The experience was pretty good in the past almost 3 years, right? Because 2 years passed, it's over 2 years, it's almost 3 years, right? But 1 month ago, I arrived at the conclusion that I need to sell my iPad. And I put this advertisement. I'm selling my iPad Air first generation from 2019, right? On my selling services in my country, something like eBay, something similar to it. Yeah, we don't use eBay in my country. We use other selling services, right? It doesn't matter, right? Right now. And yeah, so I'm gonna buy MacBook or iMac after when I'll sell my iPad, because iPadOS is so limited. I'm waiting for iPadOS 15, but I think it won't be a big difference, maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. We'll see. External monitor support, it's only a wish list, right? I can create a video about it. I think it's only a wish list. Expectations versus reality. Expectations are external monitor support, new icons, launchpad, better multitasking. It won't happen. In the next years, it would be harmful for Apple, right? I also have a plan to just buy MacBook Air, you know, older version and older model, and also iPad 8th generation from 2020, you know, just combine it together, macOS and iPadOS. It would be just awesome. So yeah, my experience was pretty good, my friend. If you're a graphic designer, filmmaker, or photographer, that's good. But if you're a programmer, my friend, you don't have a terminal, programming is not good, you don't have Xcode, you can't even create a real app on this iPad. You need Xcode to do it, to publish on App Store, right? Or in Google Play, you know. You just need a real computer. I mentioned filmmaker. No way, right? No way. I just want to say, if you're a filmmaker, that's good, right? If you're a beginner, that's good. You can learn how to edit videos in LumaFusion. But if you're more professional, you create videos for big companies, I would rather don't use iPad for it. Just go for MacBook, right? Or for iMac. Final Cut Pro will be a way to go for you. My friend. LumaFusion is good if you're a YouTuber, beginner YouTuber, because later when you want to create videos faster, more professional, with different transitions, editing in LumaFusion is possible, but it's more difficult. You need to learn, you know, how to do different things in completely different way. You have to think upside down because there are lack of many transitions and you have to create it by your own using third-party apps like Affinity Designer, Photoshop Mix, and so on and on. So yeah, for me this experience with iPadOS was brilliant. Generally with iPad 6th generation and with iPad Air 1st generation. Yeah, I just love how iPad looks, how this design, right? This design is awesome. I like it. Especially touchscreen, you can touch the surface, you can just do whatever you want with touchscreen. It's awesome, but it's only an additional thing to your workflow. My friend, you can use only iPad, but it's limited. Christopher Lowley, for example, he uses mostly only iPad. Recently, just he bought Mac Mini M1, but most of the time he uses iPad Pro, so check his channel out, link will be in the description down below. Just guys, remember, if you want to be graphic designer, buy iPad. But I think MacBook also would be a great idea to buy too. Like, I know, using only one device, so good, so minimalist stuff, but my friend, it's not always possible, right? It's not always possible to use only iPad. There are some things that unfortunately you need to go for your MacBook or for your iMac. So 2 years, almost 3 years of my experience with iPadOS was good, but not as good as I thought can be, right? multitasking is horrible. Also, the lack of pro apps is something that I hate. And sometimes it drives me crazy how this cursor looks like this circle instead of real mouse cursor like we have on macOS or on Windows, no, Linux or Chrome OS, doesn't matter right now. Right, so that's my, that's my journey with iPad. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, write in the comments down below what do you think about going only iPad, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and see you next time. Peace.